My name's Tamara Chambers.
And I'm Cody Melcher.
And this is Tamara Just Saw.
And Cody also just saw 2 as well. In Underpants.
Tra-la-la! Cody got me this hat at a truck stop.
So she can be the true boss baby. I want to know what the carrots are on these jewels on my boss hat.
My denim boss hat.
I'm not even sure if it's real denim, honestly.
Today we went and saw Captain Underpants.
Yes, the first epic movie.
Yes. We were going to see The Mummy.
We were.
But then all of this happened.
It's awful.
Last night, super late, you text me.
I didn't say it, but I was feeling it, but I was like, I'm leaving forever if I have to see this movie.
He was like, man, sucks that we have to see this. It's 20% on Rotten Tomatoes. We could even see, like, Captain Underpants. That's all it took was one text. I was like, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. This was like another Smurfs.
Yes.
I went in like with little to no expectations and was incredibly joyful.
We both read the books growing up. Back when you got like the Scholastic like catalogs at school, and oh my god, those were what I lived for. I was worried because it was Dreamworks, and with our past Dreamworks boss baby, I was a little worried, but it was a surprising delight. Mm-hmm. I loved it. Mm-hmm. I thought that the lessons that they taught were incredible. I thought that the friendship between Harold and George were amazing.
I almost said Kumar.
Harold and Kumar.
Because you presented it as Harold and I'm like,
No, Cody, no.
Different duo with a Harold. We had children in this movie as well. Like, we didn't have children. There were children present for the film. And they laughed at the movie, unlike Boss Baby.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Like, if you want to use, a test subject for a children's movie, because, like, we can say whatever we want, but, like, and we definitely laughed at a lot of things the kids didn't laugh at, because there were some jokes in there, obviously, for parents. Yeah. Or at least adults. But, yeah, like, there were children who laughed. Like, there were several moments where I laughed because a kid laughed. Like, right at the beginning when they first introduced Captain Underpants, like, when the hypnosis happened, spoiler alert, he's like, Captain Underpants. A kid in the front, like, giggled maniacally, and it was amazingly beautiful. And it's like, that's what you want in a kid's movie. Yeah. You want kids to enjoy it.
They felt joyful.
I don't mean to blow your mind here, everybody. But what you want in a kid's movie is children to enjoy it.
That's too much, Cody. Too far.
I'm bringing the heat.
Shots have been fired. I had so much fun, like, surveying the children. That's a bad sentence. I had so much fun. I had fun that they were having fun. It was really great. The whole time in my mind, I was comparing it to Boss Baby. This is the last Dreamworks movie I've seen.
Because it's two bald people. They are kind of similar, except for one glaring difference, which is that one of them is a better movie.
Just the one. It started off, and immediately you could tell that they had written in an incredible friendship with these two boys who genuinely loved each other.
It was really sweet.
It was so nice to see. I don't.
They were like the Tamara and Cody of Captain Underpants.
Yes. Oh, it was really sweet. They supported each other's arts.
Yeah. It was adorable.
It was really
They were the
nice.
Tamara and Cody of Captain
Underpants.
Oh, God. Now we're getting emotional. I wish I had that growing up.
Yeah.
But that wasn't my dog.
Yeah.
My dog was my Harold growing up.
My pet rat Yogurt was my Harold.
I had a parrot growing up named Twinkie Cupcake.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
My brother and I wanted to name it. We both had different names we wanted to name it, so my mom just like, well, we'll just name it both of them. And for some reason, my brother and I were trying to argue between Twinkie and Cupcake. I was very young.
Yeah, right.
I don't know how to explain it. My brother's 6 years older than me, and he wanted Twinkie, so I don't...
So come on.
That's on him.
That's more about him.
I was a child. This movie was just so earnest and silly, and so, like, all of the emotional stuff was earned because you cared about these kids. It's so overblown. The whole point of the movie is that he's going to put them in separate classes. They live next to each other. They hang out all the time after school, and their whole world, they're like, our world's going to end because, and like the actual world's going to end because we're not going to be in the same class either. We're never going to see each other. We're not going to remember who we are and recognize each other. And like, it's obviously so silly, but you do feel for these kids.
Yeah.
Also, the animation style, similar to Boss Baby, change several times. They do puppets, they do a bunch of other stuff. But those are earned because it's either the way the kids are telling the story is affected by that. Like when they do the puppets, it's because Harold has socks and they do sock puppets.
In Boss Baby,
Wow.
I liked the animation differences because it was like, to me, the only enjoyable part of the movie.
Right, it was a stylistic choice.
In this, it was like, oh man, it just adds to it because it just keeps going because it made sense in the film.
Right. Boss Baby was like the cart before the horse. Like it was like you could tell that everything was because the plot needed to happen or it was a stylistic decision, and this was all driven by the relationship. Because the whole point of the movie is George and Harold are basically telling you this story, and it felt like a movie that two smart, witty kids were telling me. Like I felt like it was their movie.
These were children telling a story, but they were wise children, and there was so much fun in that. Like in the very beginning, you start off and you see their friendship, you see the pranks they pull, you see their treehouse and the comics they create. You see one of them writes the stories and one does the art, and then they love each other for it. It's really sweet and it's believable.
Dolphins.
I love it.
The dolphins wearing overalls. I still don't know how that happens. How does it?
It's like a really good tailor. Okay, in 6th grade, this was like a really sad moment in Tamara's life. 6th grade, I was put in a class, and every single one of my friends, we had like a group of 5 girls that were friends, and they were all put in the other class, and then we were not friends after that. And they were like really mean to me, and it was like a really, like 6th grade was awful. I never went outside for recess. I stayed in a red. It was terrible. And so the whole time I was just like, oh my god, no!
Oh my god, I did not know that about your emotional state.
Yeah. So I was like, in it to win it. Like I was very much in the story.
I didn't need the inciting incident. I just existed wholly as a sad, quiet character.
No, school sucks.
My worst years were first through whatever you call the 4th year of college. What year of school am I in right now?
That's been the worst of it.
Yeah.
Therapy.
This children's movie has really gotten to us. This is not an actual criticism, but it is like kind of a criticism. So the whole thing is that George and Harold play pranks all the time. And they show you a bunch of the pranks that they pull, and some of them I'm like, you know what, I'm on the side of the administration on this one. Putting a tiger in a classroom is not good. They steal a crane and destroy a lot of private property, and I'm like, okay, we've moved into crimes. I think the principal definitely overreacts to some extent. I think there's a middle ground we could find. Also, like Melvin, is it the nerdy kid, is a genius and is treated like a jerk the whole time because he doesn't have a sense of humor. I feel like he should be pitied a little. Like he's a full-on genius.
I pitied him in the movie for sure.
Yeah.
I feel that too.
And so that felt weird. This is like a thing I talk about a lot on stage. Is this idea that like bullies don't get children's movies, and so it just makes them worse bullies because it's like every bully. And I'm not saying like we should pity the bullies necessarily, but they are still children, I guess. Right. I guess. Calling into question whether they're actually children. He's not even a bully. He's just a nerd. Melvin, if I was like a nerd, like I would have been Melvin. Not as much of a kiss up, but like, and I had a sense of humor, I guess, but I didn't have friends. Right. That's Melvin. Yeah. And it's like, you gotta
That's who I would have identified with.
Right. And I'd have been like, why is everybody making fun of Melvin?
Taking Melvin out of that equation, they were really kind to all of the students, and they were like doing these pranks to help other kids.
Robin Hoodie.
Yeah, it felt really nice and really like they would support anyone who needed support. Also, a side note, I thought that there was like a good range of students who weren't just like all white students.
Yeah.
Which was nice. I can't believe the difference between this and Boss Baby. Story-wise is just... You can't compare the two.
Story-wise and comedy-wise. Like I'll say, I said earlier, I don't really like toilet humor, like scatological and flatulence humor. It's just something I've never really found funny. I don't have a problem if that's your bag. You just call it
scatological?
Yeah, that's like fecal-related comedy. Anyway, so I
think it's funny.
If that's your bag, go for it, bro. But like that's just not what I find funny. Just in the same way that like I'm sure you all probably wouldn't enjoy my Anabaptist Rebellion jokes, but like. This is different things. We're all into different things. And, but this movie was so silly and so like sweet that, I just kind of like when those hardcore like flatulence jokes came up, like the concert with the whoopee cushions.
Right. That was.
I just like, rolled my eyes and went, "Oh, you guys," like that. Like I wasn't like so like, "Oh, this isn't funny. I'm out of it." It was like they'd earned it at that point.
And to be fair,
I wouldn't even call that bad.
To
Yeah.
be fair, God. But to be fair, actually, no one in the theater was laughing at the flatulence choir. So I think that was just kind of more of a miss.
Yeah.
Than you not liking.
Yeah, I think it's just silly. Yeah, it was just silly.
The cast was great. The voice acting cast was awesome. They did such a good job. Then it was just sweet. Like, they got their laughter back, and the boys are like, "Oh, it feels so good to laugh." Oh, it does. That's so kind and sweet and pure. I'm gonna wear this to your wedding.
That
okay.
hat's gonna be tatters. It's gonna be dust by the time I get married to anything.
Not if I leave it in my glass case.
It's like, oh my God, no, the boss hat is the rose for Beauty and the Beast. And the jewels fall off over time, and I have to get married before the boss completely falls off.
It's the love story for millennials.
Tale as old as Twitter.
Thanks for watching, you guys.
I give it 5 waistbands.
Okay, I give it 19 Hanes boxer briefs out of 28 Victoria's Secrets. Just trying to rack my brain for all the underwear brands that I know. Bye!